now we can get a little bit on the main fuselage. Here, what we are gonna do is, first of all, we have TBS shipping their flight controller mount, and also question to TBS, why don't you put holes, like at least 30 by 30, 20 by 20, like, you know, industry standard? No, just a plain piece of wood. I don't know, I do not understand this stuff. Also, why the hole? I guess it's for cable management, but yeah, I don't know. So instead of that, I made my version. The idea of this version is that we have like the holes to mount the SpeedyB on. So the SpeedyB will be something like that, yeah. And then we have this slot here that it's used to pass the cable below, so that they do not interfere with rubber band holding the wings on. So, and then we have some other holes for like connection and stuff. And on the underside we will mount the ESC. So yeah, so it's it will be a beautiful sandwich, and we will see later how it does work out. Another thing is the battery plate. The battery plate is also wood. It's yeah, it's wood. So the thing that I hate about this battery plate is that when you tighten the straps, they often just break. Wait, I will get my blade of the Mojito to show you. Yeah, so this is the blade of the Mojito. By the way, it's not carbon fiber, it's just plain wood with black color. And as you can see, like here is where you have the strap, and for me it broke like here. I think you can see it, just like there. And same thing on the other side. So yeah, not great design, honestly. Also because like, maybe for the Chupito is fine, because the batteries are more small, but for the Mojito are big batteries, you need to tighten down, because if they shift, they move the CG, and then good luck. So yeah, I don't like this. Back to this, away, and what we have, it's this, a beautiful piece of carbon fiber. We have like machined slots to like have a little bit more clearance for the straps, and this will go here inside, just like that, and much more elegant solution, I feel. We can actually glue it in right now. As before, clean your parts with isopropanol alcohol, yeah. And then we can apply some glue, especially near the straps, because even if it's carbon fiber, it tends to bend. This will go inside. I don't think the camera will focus on this, so sorry about that, but there is nothing fancy to see here. It will be funny to put the straps later, but I don't know where they are, so that's a later me problem. Now we can focus to install the motor. So to install the motor, we have to remove this, come on, yeah, this carbon fiber spar, because it passed through the fibers that holds the motor. So beautiful design. Honestly, I hate this. If you glue your fins on, so let's say you glue them, voila, 1, 2, and you put your spar, because this motor plate has the spar going through here, you will not be able to remove your motor. So we will see later. I have some 3D printed parts to make the tail removable. We will maybe do that later. Yeah. So this said, here we have the tail assembly with the motor, some screws, and some Loctite. Yeah, just a drop. The reason I'm using Loctite is because, I mean, why not? On all the quads and all the stuff that I make like this, I use Loctite, because it's like if you have a bad tune, but also if there is wind or something, stuff vibrates, and I had long range quad return with half the screws. Not a great feeling. It's nice that they return, but still. I would not advise to not use Loctite. And one thing to remember about Loctite that is very, very important is that it attacks plastics. And what it does mean, like servo horns I had before, you saw that I used glue to make the screw fixed, to like secure it, and not Loctite. And that is because like if the plastic is not compatible with the Loctite, it will just become brittle. And I let you imagine what happens if your if your control horn becomes brittle and just break up. Then you have no servo and then you have no airplane. So that's something to keep in mind. Really important. Do not use Loctite on plastics. Or I mean, if you are sure that it works and you have tested it like for months, then it's okay. But please don't do that. Beautiful, beautiful. I like this design. So beautiful, elegant. Yeah, we can put this aside for now. So now for the FC, I prepared cables, the holder, important, the instruction. Thank you SpeedyV for providing such a beautiful paper printed instruction. It's rare these days, but you know, it's one of those things that makes life so much easier. So yeah, first thing, we need to find serial port for the telemetry of the ESC. Why do I use telemetry for the ESCs? Because we have like stuff like the temperature. That's very nice to have, especially in wings where the ESC is maybe like inside, so it gets pretty warm. So that's very beautiful. So I will open this up and then we will start from there. So now that we have the flight controller taken apart, we can start to solder stuff. So because there is no plug for the telemetry of the ESC and I have to solder it, I will solder everything on the underside. I mean, if you have like 3 wires with a plug and 1 without, it's the same as 4 without. So I will use R4, so the telemetry, the UART port R4 for the telemetry of the ESC. And yes, so we can start doing that. So we want the ESC to be in the back side, first of all, like that, and with the wires facing the motors. So something like that. Actually, one thing I will also already do is to use some double-sided tape to stick it down. So front, back, we want wires in the back, in the center. So yeah, like that. It's great. This is really, really great. Wonderful. And then we will have one wire, so the signal wire with ground coming in the back side, like that. And then we will have the power wires just come up, and later we will solder them to the flight controller. Telemetry signal, we just go there. Signal plus ground, that will be soldered on the back of the board. 1, 2, 3. I will just pre-tin the wires. 1, 2, 3, and also the R4. So here we go, we have R4, and then we just turn on the back and we can solder ground to the ground. And signal to S1 for the first motor of this flight controller. Perfect. Not a fan of the fact that it's soldered, but because we don't have the connector, I don't really care. This is nice and clean. We can now screw the flight controller on. And before doing that, I will put some Loctite on every screw, because these screws will be kinda inaccessible later. So just a little bit on each screw will save us from a bad day. So we are gonna do that. Yeah, I like this. It's very clean. So, focus. Yeah, thank you. This pin here is the one responsible for telling this board. I am now editing the video, and I just want to make a quick note. Do you see like this jumper here? Wait, let me... Yeah, this one. So the problem with that one is that in that position, it's giving the battery power to the O4 air unit. And because I'm using the O4 Lite, it only supports up to like 11 volts. Thank you DJI for putting voltage protection system, because otherwise I would have fried the unit. So this must actually be bridged on the top part, so to the 6 volts, I believe. To output 6 volts for the servos, and we will just short it. Yeah, and now we have 6 volts. Much better. Now we can put everything together. I will do that off camera. So now we have the flight controller mounted, and the last thing that we have to do is solder the two ESC wires here. And once that is done, we can solder the two battery wires coming also from underside in this slot, and then solder them. So I will just do that, and then this is done. So as we can see, it's very clean. We have all the cables going down here and then out. ESC on the back side, wired. Perfect. First of all, thank you for watching. In the next video, we are gonna wire everything into the wing and complete the setup so it's ready to fly.